Good morning. Good morning.
Good afternoon. This won't even know what time y'all gonna see this video.
This is true. Hey y'all, how are ya? Hey. So, it's been a week since y'all seen us. Yeah, we are working on consistency. So there is no excuses.
Consistency with equipment, consistency with our schedules, consistency with our where we at in this season, mental health.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing an excellent job.
I think so too. Good job. Okay. So what you been up to
since the healing?
last? Yeah. Amen. Okay. What does that look like? What you been doing?
So for a lot of people, isolation has been like, oh, you shouldn't do it. You know, I don't know if it's isolation, but is it? I don't know. I'm about to make this up.
Like you just being secluded.
Okay, they say an idle mind is the devil's playground, but sometimes isolation can be the devil's playground as well if you don't know how to handle your isolation. And so for me, I honestly believe that because I've been isolated, like practicing isolation for so long, as in decades. Because sometimes I need to step back, and so when I step back, I've learned to become stronger and stronger in my isolation. And in this season,
more productive, more effective, more efficient.
You can say that, but
a healthy isolation.
Yes, but it's more so like if you don't want to do anything, then don't. But don't like be down on yourself in this isolation. It's how you speak to yourself, like positively in the moments and stuff like that. And so in this isolation, I allow myself to be this big so God can be this big.
That's good.
And so
in your weakness,
you're
strong. Okay, go
ahead. So it's just more so processing. Like I knew that there was a list of things that needed to be done before, as far as forgiveness, because there are some people who are triggering and things like that. And so organization, being organized financially, being organized with my business and stuff like that. So there are things that I knew I had to do, but when it came down to like, okay, why is God making you pause right now? Like, what is the issue? I had to sit and think like, okay, well, I'm being triggered emotionally. I feel I'm emotionally intelligent, I would like to say, but I'm also an emotional ticking time bomb as well. And so anything that makes me like irritated and stuff, I had to sit down with and do all this work, write letters to people and then not send them type stuff. Like I had to do all this shadow work to help. But yeah, I've been talking more just about a lot of stuff, not just about my mental health. It's just me talking, trying to get back into society. So it's just been a lot of little things that have gotten me to this point. I'm still not 100% because I can feel it, but I'm better in a sense of I'm prepared. I'm getting prepared for what's next.
Cool. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Don't make it seem like I was talking too much.
It was a little lengthy.
Well, it was my story last time, so I feel like they wanted an update.
I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
Right. Easy.
It was lengthy, but thank you. All right. Well, I just been at the gym. Naked Beaches 2025. Nah, just kidding. We've been in the gym though. I think that's been helpful too. Been getting my weight up. Not for real. I'm still the same weight, but my muscle is coming back. So amen to that. A gain is a gain is a gain. Yeah. So today we're talking about I'm your friend, but you're not my friend. I'm talking about relationships and friendships and navigating those as adults. Navigating like long-term or childhood friendships as adults and how that shifts and changes and all that stuff. Me and Ario was talking the other day, and I said something to the extent of, I expect people to disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I just know how human they are, and Ario was like, that's weird. Because you said,
well, it's not. Okay, so I feel like if I'm calling you my friend, yes, you are going to disappoint me. But if I'm calling you my friend, expecting you to do it all the time.
I didn't say all the time. I just know you're human. So I give you some leeway.
Okay,
some
so there's a conversation we also have, and because this is how we differ when it comes down to like when it comes down to people and accepting the fact that they're human and stuff like that. Okay, great. But it's more so like, I know where she says, I know where you stand, I know where you are, so I know you can only give me this much. And I'm like, why do I want a friend who only gives me this much? Like, I feel like there is a level of friendship requirements that I have, because I think I'm a great friend. So, and if I'm not a great friend to you, that means we're not friends.
I think that you can have levels of friends.
You can have
levels. A handful of close friends.
I'm not gonna accept you right here and call you my friend. Like,
we could be friends. We can go. We can kick it. We can hang, and then I'm gonna go about my business. So we ain't gonna talk for another 3 months.
Okay, so when it comes down to that level, what are we referring to, so people can like?
What do you mean?
Give an example of when.
Okay, so you know how you have certain friends that you only just go to the club with. Like, that's the only thing that you'll do with them. We can go kick it because we have a good time, or we can go to the club. Not that I still go to the club, but okay, yeah, like, but that's my point. Like, there are certain friends that you just do certain things with. Like, if you want to have a good time, cool. You got your church friends. Like, y'all not really kicking it outside of church, but... And then you got your close friends who you can do all of the above with. And it ain't many. I don't have a lot of close friends, but acquaintances and friends, I don't mind having different levels, because I also feel like certain things, like, people can give you certain things. It could be a mutual beneficial friendship at a certain level. But when it goes past that, you cannot give me more than that. There are certain friends that they call on me to check on me, and I'm not as great with them just because that's the hard relationship. So they probably don't expect me to call them. They don't say like, oh, Cynthia gonna call me.
But they not looking at you like...
Exactly.
But they not looking at you like, I can never call her because she's not that type of friend.
That's true. That's true.
When they do call, y'all on the phone for 3 hours.
Yeah, like, you're right.
So I don't think.
But also
the example I need.
What you give the example then?
Because when you say, I'm saying, like, I don't think that's what we talked about. As far as if your friendship, if you expecting them to be... So, okay. So when we talking about a friendship right here, she's saying if you always calling me and asking me to do something, or if like you not checking on me, and if you disappoint me often or something like that, like, she's saying, I know who you are now, and I'm okay with accepting that. Like, I know what to get from, like, I know what I'm getting when it comes to you. I'm saying, why are we friends? Because why are you always asking me to do stuff and not checking on me, and it's only beneficial to you when I say yes, I can do whatever you ask me to do.
Yeah, but I think for that, it's not only that. Like, the person that I have in mind, it's not always just that. You know how they say, like, expect the snake to be a snake? Expect the snake to bite you. Not to say that the person is a snake, but expect the snake to bite you because it's a snake. Like, what else do you expect from it? So,
why is you around it if it's gonna bite? Like, that's how we...
That's the example, guys.
No, I'm just saying, that's how we differ. She's saying expect it to bite. I'm saying, why are we around it if it's gonna bite? If it has an opportunity to bite?
I think it's a acknowledging what the thing is. It's a snake. I'm not saying, like, and at that point you get to choose whether to keep it in your life or to say, you know what, I'm cool.
Because I don't like that.
Yeah. I know you don't. I don't like getting bit, but the point is, I just expect you to be you, boo. Be you. I love you, and I know what I can get from you. And not to say that I need to get anything from anybody. So I was doing this leadership class and they talked about trust. Mm-hmm. And they said that it's a balance of capacity and values. Mm-hmm. So there are some times when your friendships have a nice balance of values. Y'all both value the same thing. Mm-hmm. You understand, okay, this is where you stand, this is where I stand. It's similar. We're on the same level. Yeah. And then capacity is you being able to give, I give. Now it's a mutually beneficial relationship. There are some times when certain relationships, y'all may go through seasons where y'all don't necessarily value the same thing. If you have children and I don't, our values are just similar. Like they're slightly different because not that I don't value children, I just don't have any. So the way that I function, I can get up and go anywhere I want to at any point because I can. You cannot, which, so at that point, our values may differ, or our capacities may differ because of just where we are in life. So sometimes you just need to decide if it's worth maintaining a friendship if y'all values are at different points, and y'all capacities at the same level, or vice versa, blah blah blah.
And in that moment too, like you got to be able to, if you care enough, to communicate with that person to let them know like where you stand and I think that great friendships are one where both of y'all can come to each other and have those tough conversations. Mm-hmm. I think it becomes, like for me, it becomes an issue when I gotta tell you about yourself and you aren't self-aware to know what you did. That's a me thing. I shouldn't have to tell you, because why did you think that was okay?
I think it's okay to tell somebody. So number one, we value self-awareness because
like it's like
vital.
It's number one.
It's an essential.
Like what? Yeah,
it's an essential.
You have to have it if y'all are my friend right now. That means y'all got it, and we like it.
And self-awareness in a friendship or a relationship looks like if somebody comes to you and brings something to your attention, you can say, you know what, I might do that for real, or I apologize. I didn't know I did that, but I can. That's accountability. But
yeah, I'm like, okay. So self-awareness could look like when you are not in a good space and you lash out on people. So if I'm not in a good space and I lash out on her, then I need to be texting her later like, you know what, my bad, I ain't have to do you like that. Not go months talking about why you ain't been texting me, why we ain't cool no more. When I'm asking you to go out, why you keep saying no, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But self-awareness is, I know, okay, I kind of blacked out a bit. My bad. Like I've been going through a lot of stuff, and and when you're ready, talk about it. If you're not ready, don't talk about it. But like, that's self-awareness. Self-awareness also looks like if we out having girls' night or something, and it was your idea, and you on the phone with your man while we all in the car. If you don't, I'm finna throw your phone out the window. Because why is you here? Why are we here?
Yeah, I think it's being considerate too.
It's consideration.
Yeah, I think back to self-awareness. I had a conversation with a friend because I was having a conversation with them, and they didn't agree with what I said, and kind of like the energy was off. Like it was just weird, right? So I sat on it and I was like, I'm gonna bring it up, right? I'm working on my communication, just bringing stuff up when it comes up.
Yeah.
And I brought it to their attention. They was like, you know what? Yeah, I was off that day. That's self-awareness. It's accountability too, but it's also like, yeah, my bad. I was off that day. Like you're not tripping.
Yeah.
Like don't gaslight me. I know you was tripping.
And that gaslighting stuff.
I know you was tripping. I know you.
Yeah, gaslighting, don't play with me. That's number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, as y'all can see, I'm so when it comes down to us, like we have moments where she's more aggressive than I am, and I'm more aggressive than she is. When it comes to friendships, relationships, don't play with me and don't play in my face. That's where I get aggressive. With her, it's more so like, I
don't know. I think to some degree it's don't play in my face. I'm
You
real.
have more patience than
I
me
do.
in that category.
Also because we talked about this before, I'm a little bit more detached from people.
Yeah.
So when you do things, it's like, okay, cool. We don't gotta hang anyway.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Like, mine be like, this was not fun. You got me yelling.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I am working on bringing up things when it bothers me, because I don't like to fester on things. Sometimes it takes me a second to process, so I may not say things. I don't want to fester. It like stinks.
It does stink, but I mean,
I smell it. Fester sound like it stinks.
True.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hold on to nothing, child. You see how small my arms is? I can only carry so much, and I'm not going to carry a fester.
I'm thinking enough to carry it all.
No, I ain't carrying no fester. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm so slim. I just cut it off. I be cutting it off. Yeah. I was playing.
You don't belong.
No, for real. Yeah. Okay. So we value self-awareness. We value accountability, consideration. I value communication.
I value communication as well.
And then like asking. Communication and boundaries, because it's almost like when you are in a space, you have to ask like, do you have the capacity right now?
Yeah.
And have to respect if somebody says, actually, I do not.
Yeah. Like I recently, I asked somebody this year, we'll say that, if they had the capacity, and they said no, but this is somebody who's trying to date me, right? So I felt some type of way a little bit. Then I said no, like you can't. But then I ain't hear from them until like the next week, talking about, hey, just checking on you. Hold on. No, because at least having the capacity can look like, in my opinion, having the capacity could look like, no, I don't have the capacity, but like, you okay? Providing resources, directing you somewhere. Sometimes that can look like it for me. Sometimes it can also look like, hell no, we won't go. I don't have nothing for nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we are dating, or you trying to date me or whatever, like, I need you to find something. It's not even capacity. It's like a care. Just a piece of care.
So what does that look like if I don't have the capacity?
It looks like, okay, well, I'm trying to put myself
Mm-hmm.
in the shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the capacity, but I care about you and I want to make sure you're okay. I don't have the time to like listen to your woes because I got my woes going on, but like what can we do about it? Like, you know, can we go out to eat?
What if they just, okay.
I don't know, like,
I'm asking.
I am too.
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying to walk this out too,
Okay.
but I think it was also almost like last straw type of thing with him too, because it was like showing his inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I'm not gonna do that. But it was just showing his inconsistencies, and it wasn't a reflection of who he said he was.
That's good.
And that's what the problem was for me. If you are this positive, outstanding, I like value self-care and things like that. Yeah, yes, my capacity, that value self-care, but I value like, basically, I want you to feel seen. I want you to feel heard and stuff like that. It just wasn't, it was like multiple things that I was like, I don't think you really him the way you claiming that you him. It's just like,
okay. So what if I don't have the capacity at all? Because you said, even if you don't have the capacity, give me resource, give me something, show that you care. But if I literally don't have the capacity, or just right now can't, because a week is not that long. It is long though.
I'm probably being dramatic. I mean, I'm probably being like cute. I think it was actually 2.
Okay.
Because at that point I was like, yeah, you should have checked on me a long time
ago. No,
like,
that's fair.
And because the way I felt, I still had it because I don't like how he went about it.
So do you feel like he could have communicated like, I don't have the capacity today, but check me in like 3 days?
That's what he said, and that's why it pissed me off.
Okay, here we go.
Because he said at the beginning of the week, I don't have it, but let's tap back in at the end of the week.
Okay.
And that's when
That's
I was
fair.
like, you let another week go
Yeah,
by?
no, that's
why
fair.
I was like, yeah,
I'm not mad
so
at that.
that was the inconsistency. And in that point, if I'm trying to date you, I'm going to communicate, hey, I know I told you this weekend, but X, Y, and Z, or something like that. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, you really not like you.
Yeah.
It's a difference between you going through stuff, because I feel like I communicated in this space even when I wasn't in the mood to communicate, like to certain people. Like my friends kept checking on me, and I had to be very honest. Like, I'm just not in this space to hear no drama right now. Like I literally can't. Like, just give me some time, and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's hard to think of other people, but it is a way to respect yourself and to think about yourself and to communicate with people where you are. Like, it's a way to do that. Even though you don't have the capacity to share your business, I got the capacity to tell you I don't want to hear yours. But like, I don't know. It's just,
I think we handle people differently also when we care about them. It's kinder, it's thoughtful, it's more sensitive. So I think how people handle you kind of shows you what level of care they have for you.
That's good, because I don't have a level of care for some people, and I haven't. That's
fair. Okay.
But I mean, shoot, tired. But anyway, for real, because I don't, and that's a level of self-awareness. So when it comes down to friendships, there is a difference between the Ariel who is in her own space, in her own mood, don't have the capacity right now, and that is A. And there's Ariel who don't rock with you and never will. You will know and feel the difference. And if you think that one is gonna come back to this one, it ain't gonna never happen.
Yeah, sorry to them people.
Never happen. Because that means because in the last episode, I said when life get tough, I fold, and like fold like a little napkin, right? But if I get to that point, because I said that means everything piled up already. I already peeped when you did that. And you still ain't noticed. I already peeped when sometimes it's not fair to them because you're not communicating.
I was about to add that.
Sometimes it's not fair to them when you're not communicating, but if it's like simple things and it's also repetitive, what are we talking about this for? Like, some stuff is not worth the conversation. Like, because
if you don't care for them, it's not worth it.
Exactly. Because my mind is made up.
Yeah.
I have nothing for you, but you just keep showing your butt. I'm not going to keep you as the friend who's here. I'm not going to keep you. You're not even in my pocket. My pocket turned inside out, and you feel like them pennies.
Okay.
So I picked it up.
I was on TikTok the other day, and this girl said she was in therapy, and she's the type of person to just be cutting people off. And her therapist had asked her about one friend, because I guess the girl had brought up, like, I miss so-and-so. And the therapist said, okay, well, why don't you reach out to her? And she said, no. And she was like, well, why not? And then I guess she had went into this whole thing about what happened and how the friendship fell off. And the therapist was like, well, did you communicate those little things as they happened? And the girl was like, no, I didn't. So there is a responsibility when you care for people.
When you care, yeah, because I don't care to reconcile or anything.
But just bring it up if it bothers you, because some people don't know how to handle you. Some people don't know how to treat you. So you're going to have to teach people how to treat you. Otherwise, they're just going to treat you however.
But if we grew up together, then you got an idea. You got an inkling.
No, that's fair. But also, if there's a lack of self-awareness and a lack of other things, then
exactly.
But it is still my responsibility to show you how to treat me. And if you choose not to, and if you just literally don't have the capacity, then to your point, we can't be friends. We can't move forward. We can't blah, 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 blah.
Right. And even when it comes to like family too, like all of this can relate to that. Like there are some people who, and we'll tap into that later, so this video won't be too long, but all of those people who be like, oh, but they're family. okay.
and
And no, for real, because if you like, okay, I'm gonna tap in and I'm come back out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you aren't self-aware aware that you are taking your trauma and bleeding on people, like if you aren't aware of that, that's number one an issue in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But if people like, I feel like some nasty people, like very mean, very like, they understand that they are nasty. I really believe
I think
that
they do.
Those people know that they nasty because I believe that they go to bed and be like, I ain't had to do that. Girl, shut up. I really feel like they had a conversation in their head. And so like, I think there's a level of self-awareness there, but it's blocked by the I don't care and this is who I am.
Because somebody did it to me.
And so so like you're aware, but you not aware that you just supposed to get slapped. And I think that's the part where people have an issue, and that's the disconnect. So when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, this like the point of all of this is like hone in on the good relationships. If the bad relationships are worth salvaging, then save them, have that conversation. If the bad relationships are so toxic that you keep dreaming about fighting them all the time and you don't want to have a conversation, and you think a conversation will only bring more conflict, learn how to have closure without having a conversation. And that's me. I'm saying that for me.
That's good though. That's really good.
Because I've come to the conclusion there was somebody who did something this time and then I had a conversation with them and then they did it again. What are we talking about? What else do I need to talk about? Nothing, because it was years later I brought it up, saying, hey, this really hurt my feelings. I think I cried. And then it happened 2 years later, but worse. It was worse. And I was like, and y'all, I handled it so well, I didn't even say nothing. But I'm a festerer. And it got to the point where that was one of the reasons why I went into my isolation, because it was too much. Everything was too much. So if the conversation is going, if you feel like it's gonna make it worse, I'm talking feel like for real, because some conversations can actually be healing
and go better than what you think it can.
Yeah. And so I'm not talking about an anxiety, a fear. I'm talking about based on habits, based on patterns, based on this is literally who the person is. They're combative, they're this, they're that. Don't have that conversation. Just figure out how you can heal without. And so like I'm learning how to kind of detach, but I'm learning how to move forward without needing to talk about it all the time, because there is not going to be reconciliation. I just need to heal for me and my kids, like future kids. Like the goal is to have kids and at least be a little healed.
You're gonna be a lot of healed. You done did a lot of work.
No, for real. Be a lot of healed when I have them. Because, I mean, I honestly feel like once you do the work, some DNA gets changed.
I think so, too.
My
ovaries are so happy.
Not yet. But there was a study, I don't know, but, like, I don't know specifics. I'm sure y'all can Google it, but I think it was some rats. They basically were testing generational trauma. So they...
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it? Okay. So then you can fill in some gaps. So basically, they were by a tree, and every time they go by this tree or something like that, they would get zapped or something. And so then they would do it so often, and then they would take the rat with that trauma and a rat with no trauma, they would mate, and then their child would be 50% trauma, 50% healed, and their child would do the same thing. And basically, there was a smell that they recognized, and so the traumatized rat would smell it and be like, "Don't go near that tree. Don't, like, that trauma is like, it remind me of something. Don't do it." So basically, it took 7 generations for the child, for the rat to not experience that type of trauma, because it was like 4 4 rats down when they still was like, don't go near that tree. But so like, I don't think we pay attention to how much a lot of trauma has actually passed down through the family, especially with the generations who said everything stay in this house.
Yeah.
What goes in this house stays in this house.
We don't talk about broom. No. No.
Like, it ain't never happened, or if it did happen, it stays in-house. And a lot of that in-house is why we got out-house trauma right now. So I think we just gotta, I don't know where I was necessarily going, but just be mindful of, give yourself grace, but it's also like
work on your stuff.
Yeah, but it's also like do the work.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go to sleep at night and expect change. Like, you gotta do something different. So this self-care looks different because I had to do different things.
Yeah.
So
I was telling Aria the other day that sometimes going to the gym is much easier than doing mental work.
Yeah.
Baby girl. I can do 10 push-ups.
Okay.
But 10 forgivenesses.
Forgiveness eyes. Is that the plural word?
10 affirmations. 10 changing my self-talk.
Yeah.
10 push-ups, please.
10 journal prompts.
Yeah, 10 push-ups, please.
No, for real.
That's hilarious.
And that brings on some emotions. You know what I was thinking about? Emotional trauma. So y'all, I don't know, for some of y'all, I guess, who don't know, but they say trauma is stored in the hips, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you see a lot of people stretching and doing all these stretches and stuff, they start crying. And there was one girl who did that, wobble, 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 that little dance, and they was moving their hips, and she started crying. So she was laughing at first. While she was doing it, like, I love this dance. And then she started
some stuff out the hip.
She started crying, and I found it funny, but it was like somebody said, "Nah, she just released some trauma." And so I started thinking today. This is a thought this morning. Strippers, because they twerk on a pole, very flexible and stuff like that. Is there still a level of emotional trauma there?
I think so.
Are they more like far off healed than we are type stuff? Like, because
I think it's a personal thing. I feel that, okay, number one, as y'all know, we just gotta say this to be clear. Number one, you don't store all your trauma in your hips.
Yeah.
So don't just be thinking you just go twerk tonight
heal
and you're gonna be all good. So number one. Number two, I don't know a lot about strippers, but wisdom tells me that a lot of them, some of them may come from environments or backgrounds. Experiences. Mm-hmm. So I feel like some of them still deal with craziness. Some of them might be joyous and happy. And if I was making $100,000 a month, I would be joyous and happy.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, my goal in life was to be.
I get your point, but I think it's just personal. It's, people deal with trauma differently.
But that was just a nice little.
That's interesting. It was like a nice little shower thought or something.
No, I was just literally just sitting here, prepping for the podcast. But
okay,
I mean, true. I just think in order to expect a great friend, you have to be one.
So what does that look like? How are you a great friend? I was gonna ask that earlier, but I forgot.
How am I a great friend? I'm a great friend because I'm very giving, and I'm a great listener and a great picker-upper. So like
Bounty?
I knew he was gonna say Gorilla. I'm just playing. But just like, if you need me, I'm there. Like Dej Loaf said in her Try Me song, I'm the type to feed my whole team. If you're starving, you don't know.
That's a good. Say it again.
I'm the type to feed my whole team. I think that's Try Me. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
I'm the type to feed my whole team. If you starving, you don't know me. And I think that has been the story of my life and will be the story of my life, because I don't really have much right now, and I still feel like before this season I gave a lot when I didn't really have much. And so I know when it comes down to when I have a lot, I'm going to give much to the people, like to my people.
Mm-hmm.
And so being a good friend for me looks like I may not have it, but you can have it. And I think that's why I'm so harsh on people like who are in my life. If you ain't doing right, then you gotta go, because I give so much in my relationships, and I'm not about to be taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you can catch this work if you ever try and think you about to. And I mean, because I understand that my crash outs equals jail time. So if I can avoid those crash outs, then I will. I'm so serious. Because there's a level of aggression, I'm not sure where it came from. And I think a part of that is
not releasing what you had to say, I think.
I think a part of that is that. And I also think a part of that is some type of generational aggression or emotional.
Maybe it's emotional immaturity. Some of that might be because you don't know how else to express your emotions except being mad.
And I agree. Because I said that before, but I also believe that it is a level of people kept trying me in the past and I couldn't do anything before. So now that I can, it's just all talk.
So it's a part of your healing.
It's no more talking. That's where I am.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, but it's not okay.
I mean, it's not okay, but at least you acknowledge it and you work hard to not spaz.
Yeah,
I mean, you do work hard to not spaz.
Yes. But that's why I'm saying my level that's why I was playing, but really saying my level of self-awareness is not no 3.5. It's definitely a 4. I'm so aware of how I'm a lot of stuff. I'm aware of when I'm about to get into the depressive episodes and things like that. Like I'm aware of it. Sometimes my body just chooses to do absolutely nothing about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like I'm a great friend in those different aspects. Yeah. So, communicator, you can trust me with your life. I can definitely handle that. Now it's gonna be a few jokes along the way, and when you get together,
thank you.
When you get it together, I will remind you of some stuff in a jokeful manner, and we're gonna laugh it out. But I don't know. I just feel like. And I'm self-aware, so I'm not going to just spew my hate for myself or whatever. I don't have any hate for myself. But if there was some trauma, I'm not going to spew that and spill that on you. And I think that's number one, like a great friend right there. But what makes you a great friend?
Why you asking like that? Like I've been waiting to answer.
Because you keep saying I talk too much, so I'll avoid hearing you say I talk too much and just. Like,
it's cool, you know why? Because there are some people in this world that want detail. They want the long drawn out answer because they just need more information.
I think that's majority of the people in this world.
I don't know.
I think you're a part of the 20%.
I'll take it because baby, get to the point, baby. Baby, say what you need to say and let's go. No, I'm just playing, but I also think maybe I'll be in a rush sometimes. I need to slow down. So, number one, I am also a good listener. I can see things from different points of views, and I also know that sometimes that's irritating to people because sometimes you just want your friend to be like, girl, you right. Like, you might be right. But this other little part, you might be wrong, my girl. I'm honest. I would say I am learning how to create boundaries for people, so that allows me to create space for people, that allows me or to hold space for people, but it also says, you know what, I might not be able to do that today. I would say I'm funny. I think humor.
I would say I'm.
I think Ariel thinks so too. She said that was a good one.
She said something yesterday.
Okay, the ladies license plate said Celeste. C space LEST, right? And so I was like, damn, Celeste, I wish you could speed up some more. Ariel cracking up laughing. But anytime she say, oh, that was a good one. Because they say she the funny one, I think I'm like a ninja. You just don't see me coming.
You don't see her coming.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I would say I'm fun. I would say you can take me anywhere. You can take me to church. You can take me to the strip club. I don't really like strip clubs, but
I'm just like
I'll be in the back eating chicken wings because they got the best chicken wings. You can take me skating. We can try new things. So I would say I'm a good, well-rounded, grounded friend.
Yeah, I can say that about myself.
Well-rounded, grounded friend. There you go. And I would say I'm very kind. I'm compassionate. I give you grace. So I allow you to grow as a being. But I guess if we ain't friends no more, or we at our ends, my wits end with you. If I'm at my wits end with you, that means I done gave you a lot of chances.
Yeah, I think I'm. Oh, well, I gotta be kind with my friends because they're kind to me. So
yeah, it's easy to give when you receive.
Exactly, and so your friends are a reflection of you, right? So yeah, and relationships specifically, like dating and friendships, they're a reflection of you. So when it comes down to you, what are your friends showing you? Like,
my friends are really kind. My friends are affectionate. I'm working to be more affectionate.
Okay.
I'm working to be more affectionate. I'm really trying.
For me.
I'm really trying.
But you know, okay. Go ahead. No.
I would say my friends are honest. My friends don't mind hard conversations. It's not that they're aggressive or like conflict. They just are very direct. I have very direct friends that help me to be more direct.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And they are a lot of times I can be indecisive. They kind of like, this is what I like. This is what I want to do. So they kind of help me just make a decision. Thank you for helping me make decisions.
That's good.
Yeah. Yours? And they give a lot of love. They show it in their different ways, but they are very loving. So yeah, go ahead.
So for starters, I'm not the friend who texts you every day. I'm a part of that is the reason why I don't have an iPhone. I don't want nobody just FaceTiming me for funsies. I don't want to sit on and breathe on the phone. I'm just not one of them type of friends. But I think a reflection, my friends are fun. They're a grand time.
They are fun.
And I'm a grand time. And so I think that for me, like, my dream in life is to have this big old house where I host parties just because. Like, all them color parties where people show up with their color is orange. Like, that's me. That's a part of the reason why I try to incorporate that into my business, like doing hosting workshops and stuff, because I love parties like that. But no buts. So doing things like that with my friends, joy, laughing, that brings me an intense amount of like, maybe like euphoria type stuff, but it's so good to know that I have people who make me laugh just as much as I make them laugh. Like, and because I'm not always a funny person in a room.
So you don't always have to be the life of the party.
Yeah. My friends, I'm learning this, are louder than me. So it helps me to kind of like chill and enjoy the loudness. Like, I don't like sometimes being the funniest in the room because y'all are waiting on the next joke.
Yeah, like waiting for me to come.
It's needed. Y'all, I feel like and so one reason I'm not really friends with somebody is because I feel like I'm invited to places to be the cooner. Like, and sometimes that's okay, but other times it's like, if I'm not in the space, who gonna crack a joke?
Well, what if nobody has to crack jokes?
No, but if it's like a fun event, y'all expecting that from me, and sometimes that's not. I don't want to, and so I like sometimes being the calm one in the group, because it allows me to, it makes me feel like, one, I belong. It's a sense of belonging. And it also gives me the space to be the oldest one in the group, to like, if something go down, they crazy, then I gotta be the one to bring together. And sometimes I'm okay with that. Like, so I like the balance that I have with the friends, because we all can't be turned up. Somebody gotta be the calm and, collected. I'm gonna crack some jokes still, but I can, do both.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate that. And creative and giving. Those are my friends.
Yeah, my friends are giving, and they hold me accountable.
Yeah.
I done said some stuff before, and they was like, "No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Bring that back." Bring that back. I'm like, okay, I apologize.
That's needed.
Okay.
That's needed. Because then that's the self-awareness on your part, and that's them like, yeah,
and not festering or harboring things and then feel away and don't tell me. Like, I can count on my friends to say, Cynthia, I don't like when you said that, and I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah. And it's no drama.
No drama.
No drama.
No mess.
Because if you close with us, like, don't bring that.
I also think that comes from a level of like self-love too. Now, y'all gotta tell me, some people might like love drama and still have like a level of self-love, but I just feel like when you care a lot about yourself and just people, you don't like the mess. You don't like, I be talking shit though, for real. I gossip sometimes.
I gossip. We gossip in there.
Yeah, but not mess. Like, I don't wish downfalls on nobody. I don't, wish harm.
No.
I said now I can't speak for the room.
I can't speak for the room. That's funny. Now I'm just playing.
But I like to keep that around me too. But don't try us. We don't like drama.
No. We
don't like drama, but we can get to it.
I like watching it.
I don't like watching it. It stresses me out.
It does, but that's why you gotta do it in bouts.
Nope, no bouts.
So
nopes.
So no. You stupid. So when it comes down to this, so I was on Facebook and I saw somebody post saying that they are not a girl's girl.
That was they put them in a frenzy, didn't it?
For some reason, people got a little upset. Now, I am not a girl's girl, but I have my set of, I got like five, six of y'all who I'll ride for y'all. Y'all know that y'all my people. I love y'all. But when it comes down to girl's girl, well, my thing is girl's girl is like, it's like you just riding for women no matter what. If there's girls, being a girl's girl is love and hip hop to me. Or no, Real Housewives. How they fight all the time, but then they say we're sisters. Oh, y'all not. Y'all being weird. What is going on? Y'all just cuss her out and call her all these names, but y'all calling her sister? That's what girls girl. That's weird to me. Some women are very strange and weird. Like, you jealous. You competing all the time with your friend. This is your friend. What are we competing for? We both could win. Like,
yeah, we both could win. That's
like
crazy.
There's so much wrong. People are literally, for an example, you got people who keep making lingerie lines and makeup lines and who selling all this makeup, selling all this, Fenty and Victoria's Secret. There's enough room for both of them to still go up. Victoria's Secret is still doing whatever. Fenty is Savage Fit, whatever, is going up the way it's supposed to because there's still room. If somebody else come out with a makeup line, I swear, or if somebody else come out with some perfume just because they famous, I swear, but there's room. So why are we fighting when there's room? So like, that's weird to me. And so, because we grew up watching our mom like have her little friends, and because you gotta say little friends because y'all weird too, but and they didn't treat each other well. Like, they didn't treat her well. So it was like, watching that was just like, I don't want this. And so for me, that's part of that is where the affection comes in to play as well. I don't like hugging everybody because like you don't know what kind of energy people got on them. So her post went viral in a sense that somebody was saying like you give male-centered energy. Now I took the male-centered energy as I just like being around guys, preferably over women. That don't make you a hoe or nothing. It's just some people, men are just real chill. They don't really bicker. They don't fight. They're not petty. And for me, that's the sorority versus fraternity type stuff. Like some stuff get petty on both sides. Some stuff get crazy on both sides. But me joining a sorority in college days was a hell no for me, because I seen how y'all act when y'all just friends. Now you got some level over me and you gonna talk to me crazy? Your mom. And so like no. And so I think when it comes down to that, I'm not a girl's girl, because I'm not gonna vouch for any girl in the room because y'all crazy. I'll vouch for the ones that I'm cool with, for sure gonna ride for y'all, but every woman in the world, no.
Well, to be fair, you do be hyping like random people up,
but that's it's almost like an energy thing. Like if they giving out good energy in the space, like if I'm in a club or something and she looks gorgeous, like, oh, you look so pretty, I'ma hype you up like that, yeah, and go about my day. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh my gosh, what's your Instagram? And we can move on, like it. But when it comes to like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. The thought of me, y'all know how some girlfriends, some besties be holding hands and stuff like that and hugging on each other for too long. I'm not that type of individual. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, me and my friends don't really hug much. We bump chests and go better than I'm just playing. Dap each other up. Like, what's good?
No, man.
I'm just playing. We hug. So, we hug and greeting, but we don't do all the hand holding and the
yeah, no, I don't know. It's
reserved for my man.
Yeah. So anyway, would you consider yourself a girl's girl?
I'm just Cynthia, and I really just be out the way. So
sounds like a no to me.
I don't know. I feel like it's a certain type of girl that's a girl's girl.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know much about a girl's girl. I would say maybe not, because I don't know enough about it. And no, because I got like a handful of friends and I'm cool with it. Like, I'm also not the most social. I'm really reserved. So I would say no.
Okay. And even when it comes to my business too, like, I don't necessarily, like, I did it for African American women. Like, I launched this business for that. One, because you need to take care of yourself first to become a great friend. That's part of the reason why I did this. Because, like, I'm going to advocate for women to take care of themselves and stuff like that on that front. But when it comes down to, like, getting mistreated by a girl and then still calling her your sister and still calling her your bestie and your friend, I'm talking about some disrespect. I like that weird energy. That's a no for me. Like, there was one, I'm gonna say this because we talking about friends. There was one girl who we go on a road trip, and it was just like multiple things that she did was just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, when it came down to gas, I paid there and the tank was empty. So if I paid there and I drove my car, that means you do what?
That's a whole nother, we need to have a whole nother conversation about friendship rules.
Yeah, for real.
But I would pay back.
Pay full or
pay full. You paid there full, I pay full back.
She said, I say, so, I stop at the gas station. And she goes, and I'm like, yeah, so it's your turn. And she was like, grab her purse and pull out the car. How much?
The whole tank,
How much? What? I don't even think she drove my car. I drove there and back. Like, what do you mean how much? And so, and it was that. And then there was a guy who I was friends with, and she wanted him. So I'm like, shoot, I threw the alley-oop, right? And so basically, we ended up going somewhere. So we were driving in on a shuttle or something, and I seen him. I was like, oh, look, there you go. I didn't know he was in town. So I texted him. I'm like, hey, we just seen you. You know, what you doing later? Let's go out. Come to find out, he said, you know, she was DMing me while you were texting me. And I was like, no, like, you know, it's not a big deal. I don't care. Like, go shoot your shot. But that was how he said it. I said, nah, show me the messages. And he started cracking up laughing. He gave me the phone. I told her he's right here by this chicken spot. She gonna DM him like, oh, I heard you in town. You should go to this chicken spot. It's real good. That's called being weird. There is something called game, like you naturally got it. And then there's something called doing too much. She tapped into the doing too much immediately. She kept DMing him when he wasn't interested, kept going. And I was just like, why is she doing? I'm scrolling. I'm like, why is she doing all this? And he was just like, I don't know. He said, so when we got to the club, I moved out the way. I was sitting next to her. So if you want to say a girl's girl, I think I did a good job that night. Like, I moved out the way. Look at you, like, she's out the way. So when I moved out the way, and she, I was like, okay, if you want to sit there, you know, I told him, like, you can sit down. You know, gentleman rules. I kind of like, I played that, but he didn't want to sit down. He didn't want to talk to her. He didn't want to be near her. He did not want her. And after I found that out, I was laughing because I was like, I tried. Like, and so she ended up getting attitude. And I was just like, this is still my friend. I'm still going to communicate with him and talk to him. We were out with a group and we saw him out of town by himself. I'm going to go to my friend because he don't know this group. And I'm going to try to bring them together. And she was mad that I was trying to bring them together and he didn't want her. So it was just like, I did my part. And after that, I was like, okay, now you being weird. Because then she started putting her FaceTimes up with, oh yeah, he's a pro player. I ain't gonna say which ones and stuff like that. But like a sports, he was in sports, and I'm like, don't nobody care. We having family time. Nobody care who you talking to and clout chasing and stuff like that. So it was just stuff like that was very weird for me. And so I'm very particular on who I'm spending my time with, because stuff like that could really piss me off if you like doing too much. So yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, let us know what you think.
That is not a good wrap up.
Why is it not? I don't have nothing else to say. But you got something else to say?
No.
All right. Let us know what you think. Thank y'all for joining us today. About I'm your friend, but you're not my friend. You got any of those? No, because I be cutting people out. All right. Be great. Love y'all.
Peace.